Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome members of the Winston-Salem Police Department and other sworn personnel. Good morning. I'm Ed McNeil, Marketing and Communications Director for the City of Winston-Salem, and it's my pleasure to welcome each of you to the Benton as we gather to celebrate the graduation of Winston-Salem Police Academy's 76th class. You're already standing, so I won't ask you to stand, but please turn your attention as we welcome the graduates from Class 76. We ask that you remain standing for the WSPD's Honor Guard as they present our national colors and for the singing of the national anthem by Winston-Salem Police Corporal Florette Gregory Phillips. During the singing of the national anthem, it is the protocol of the Winston-Salem Police Department that sworn law enforcement officers salute if they are wearing a hat, and non-sworn place their right hand over their heart, and we would be honored if you would join us accordingly.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight over the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you. Please be seated. Let us turn our thoughts to the Let us turn our thoughts to the men and women around the world who stand between us and wrongdoers. Let's hold them and their families in our thoughts and in our hearts as we bow our heads together for a moment of silence. Thank you. On October 19, 2020, the 76th Winston-Salem Police Academy convened, and the men and women we will recognize today began a quest to become Winston-Salem police officers. The coming weeks were filled with challenges, difficulties, but also great accomplishments, all culminating today with the 18 individuals seated before you who have fulfilled that journey and now begin a new pursuit, one of public service and self-sacrifice. The city of Winston-Salem is guided by a council made up of 8 members and headed by Mayor Alan Joines. After 30 years of service, Joines retired as the deputy city manager in 2000. He was first elected mayor in 2001, and he is now serving in his 5th term. Please welcome Mayor Alan Joines.
Good morning, everyone. You know, being mayor has a lot of good days and bad days, but this is one of those wonderful good days. And I bring you greetings on behalf of the city of Winston-Salem, our 250,000 citizens, and here to say thank you to these 18 young men and women who are joining our family of public safety here in our community. To my colleagues, you'll hear from Councilmember and Chairman of the Public Safety Committee, Councilman Taylor, in just a moment. We also have with us today Councilmember John Larson from the South Ward, Councilmember Annette Scipio from the East Ward, Councilmember Kevin Mundy from the Southwest Ward, and Councilmember Jeff McIntosh from the Northwest Ward. So we are here today to express our support for you all as well. To the families and friends of these individuals who are joining the public safety family, I say thank you for your support during this training period, and now support going forward because they'll need it even more in the days ahead. I think being a police officer is obviously a very difficult task. I'm not one, but I see the work that the men and women do for the Winston-Salem PD, and I'm so grateful that you're standing, as Ed said, between us and difficult situations, particularly hard in today's world. I know our police officers and police departments come under extraordinary scrutiny and sometimes criticism. But I want you to know, as mayor of this city, I'm so proud of this department and for the work that these men and women do for us every day. So as you join us, I say thank you for your willingness to step up and accept this responsibility. We appreciate you, and our role as the mayor and city council is to try to make sure we listen to Chief Thompson and provide the things that you need to be able to do your job, whether it be training or equipment or just general support. And please know you do have the support of me and the city council and the vast, vast majority of the citizens of Winston-Salem. So thank you and congratulations and good luck in your career. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor Pro Tem Adams could not be with us this morning, but in This week that we have had, we have seen the service that the men and women in blue have rendered to protect and serve one another and in our community. She wanted to make sure that we share congratulations with you, a welcome with you to the city family, and to thank you for your service to the citizens of Winston-Salem. Thank you. Councilmember James Taylor Jr. is in his third term as the council member of the Southeast Ward. He is a 2003 graduate of the Criminal Justice Program at North Carolina Central University in Durham, and he is the chairman of our Public Safety Committee. Please welcome council member of the Southeast Ward, James Taylor Jr.
Good morning. I have the honor and privilege of introducing our speaker of the hour. Before I do that, I want to take a moment and first of all give honor to Chief Thompson and this illustrious command staff. I give honor to the brave men and women of the Winston-Salem Police Department. I also give honor to the members of the City Council who've joined us today. I do serve as Chairman of Public Safety, so I also want to recognize Councilmember Larson and Councilmember Mundy. And together, we work to make sure that this police department has everything that they need to be successful to protect and serve the citizens of the city of Winston-Salem. To Law Enforcement Class 76, I want to thank you for hearing and answering the call to service. The mayor gave some comments about nationally how law enforcement is being viewed, but I want you to know locally how we view you. We view you as heroes. On Monday, we're all aware that we had an event to happen in the city of Winston-Salem where someone took it upon themselves to do horrible things to their family. They attempted to do horrible things to one of our district police officers, and they also attempted to do horrible things to other citizens in this city of Winston-Salem. But I tell you, I say this all the time, we have the best police department in the United States of America, and they prove it every single day. And the way they went out, and the way they solved the problem, and the way they protected and served this community is heroic. And we will forever be in your debt. So thank you again, and you heard the round of applause, and you know how this community feels about you. Thank you for, again, hearing and answering the call to service. To our loved ones, we appreciate you, the family, the friends, all the loved ones who are here today supporting Class 76. Before I move forward, I want you to do me a favor. If you would join me in giving Class 76 another thunderous round of applause. Thank you. Now to the speaker of the hour, the Honorable Denise S. Hartsfield. Our keynote speaker today is Honorable Denise S. Hartsfield. She is a native daughter of the city of Winston-Salem, and she's a district court judge. She was educated at East Forsyth High School, Spelman College in Atlanta, Georgia, and graduated Wake Forest University School of Law before being licensed to practice law in the state of North Carolina. She was first elected in 2002, and she's one of 6 judges serving as a certified juvenile judge. She presides over the bond forfeiture court, where monetary judgments are given to our school system's Board of Education for school improvements. Judge Hartsfield serves on many boards, including the Carter G. Woodson School of Challenge, HOPE, which stands for Helping Our People Eat, and the Winston-Salem Delta Fine Arts. I'm not sure where she finds all the time, but she also leads the children's church at St. Paul's United Methodist Church. There is little surprise as to why the Winston-Salem Chronicle, why I serve as publisher, named her the 2006 Woman of the Year. Please join me in giving a full Winston-Salem welcome to the Honorable Denise S. Hartsfield.
Good morning, and congratulations to this fine class. To our police chief, to our police staff, Mr. Taylor told you that I enjoy calling Winston-Salem home. And part of the reason that I enjoy calling Winston-Salem home is because I know Winston-Salem is equipped with the smartest, the brightest, and the best. I feel comfortable here. I feel as though I am protected every day. And I again want to applaud this police department who has continued to serve and protect Winston-Salem in many ways. So it is my pleasure and honor to be here to recognize the 76th class of the police department. Graduation is to be applauded and rewarded, particularly when the graduation class endured and succeeded through the worst period American history has seen in a very long time. To add to the pandemic death tolls that reached well over 750,000 deaths in the United States, there were cries from the North, the South, the East, and the West of not only Black Lives Matter, but of defund the police, and heated debate that sometimes seemed to be a race war or sometimes a war against the men and women in black and blue. There was a war against the police and everybody else. It was not a good time. Yet you are the class, the 76th class, which generally signifies, before making a decision, that the number 76 means that you are focused, analytic, family-oriented, real, and introspective. Number 76 symbolism is asking you to imbibe in all the spiritual intelligence and awareness you have gained into your everyday life and enhance the quality of not only your life, but others. So despite an optimistic and spiritual favor of your class number, the harsh realities of your class compared to classes before you is different in so many ways. And although concerning and scary, there is something that tells me that you have made it, that you sit here today about to graduate for such a time as this. I don't believe in happenstance. I don't think that things generally just happen. I think that everything is ordered and is set by a higher power. So I believe that today you are here when there is no love for police, when there is not a herd of people running to do this job. How did you get to the finish line? I believe that it simply was favor. No matter if this was a long-held dream, a dream deferred that has finally come true, some boyhood vision of being a police officer someday, some girlhood vision of saying, I'm going to be a police officer, or somebody's wish that may not have come when you thought, and certainly did not believe that it would have come during this time. Guess what? It's your time. Guess what? Like Esther, it's your time for such a time as this. Your class, when we were commenting on the youthfulness of this class, the young faces of this class who are now about to go out and be policemen, it was clear to me that just like for the pandemic, your class was supposed to be here for now. You all are probably never know a time when you didn't have some electronic device in your hand. You probably don't know a time when there was anything but a cell phone and a computer and a laptop, and you probably took your mama's phones and played with them whenever you could. We needed that intelligence as we were about to go into an isolated world. We needed that sort of brilliance that my generation and other generations did not have, because you were planted for such a time as this. Some people say good luck. I'm saying to you, good favor. I'm saying to you, favor that has fallen on you to do a tremendous job. But favor sometimes isn't fair, but favor always gets the job done. You know that this week we have seen in demonstration not only the favor of God over you, but over our city. With a man on the loose, in public parks, near crowded high schools, middle schools, shooting into a police station, favor covered this city. Covered it completely. Covered it completely. And it covered it because the men and women who protect us every day with precision and peaceful attitudes caused something to squash that could have been catastrophic. It's only because of your training. It's only because of your belief. It's only because of favor that there were few, if any, deaths that day, and that the panic that seemed to be arousing calmed to a peace. That's what policing is all about. For you see that this week, when we once again revisit the 99th time that we have seen and we know about the lack of mental health and gun control and gun access in this country, when once again we are forced to revisit it, we have new members with new voices who are able to help us to come to some conclusion about the things that need to be fixed in our society. Buzzwords for a job well done in the wake of the gravity of the events of this week. And just think, it's just Thursday. So already you have been in the midst of what this occupation may bring for you. I want to applaud. I want to give a word of peace to parents, to significant others, to spouses who are going to spend some nights where you're going to be a little apprehensive and nervous whether or not your boy or your girl is going to make it home. You're going to be worried about the night shift. You're going to be worried about the patrol areas that they may be assigned. But I'm here to tell you that that favor that fell over our city on Monday, that covering that fell over Winston-Salem as we were about to see something bad, has fallen on you. So I encourage you and I tell you today that I am in constant communication with the Master. I am in constant communication with a recipient of peace, because we have to have peace in order to do this. Know that you have birthed, that you have married, that you have been the brother or sister of some folk who are supposed to be here and who are going to be protected by our prayers, by our love, and by our coming together to make and keep this city safe. So understand that I understand. I understand your apprehension. And I'm not telling you not to be there, because you have to do what needs to be done. But be assured that this city loves your husbands, your spouses, your significant others, your sons, your daughters, and that we too are in prayer for all of their protection. Law enforcement includes a large variety and group of folk. I include myself in that law enforcement community. Judges and others, along with the court and probation officers, on different jobs in different law enforcement positions, but we still require the same skill set. Education, uniforms, color schemes, logos, and rules may change, but at the end of the day, we all are here to protect and serve. I get this black robe. It wasn't government issued. I had to buy it. It's really a choir robe. But at the end of the day, it's the only protection I got. It's all I got, and it wasn't government issued. The probation officer gets a little badge and a taser and maybe a gun and some other little stuff, but not enough to really do that much protecting. You all get the full work. And still, the uniform doesn't make you. The sheriff's department gets a protection. The SRO officer at the schools, some of you will be assigned to. Security on many of our college campuses. All these people are a part of the law enforcement scene. And the law enforcement scene sees and does a lot of stuff. It does a lot of stuff because policing and law enforcement is about solving problems. Police deal with street crimes, drug crimes, gang activity, drinking and driving, domestic violence, property crimes, neighbor disputes, neighborhood disputes. And police leadership not only deals with law enforcement matters, it deals with people matters. Anyone can hold the helm when the sea is calm, but it takes a group of problem solvers to hold the helm when it gets rocky. Maya Angelou said that she's learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Say that again. People will never forget how you made them feel. People respect people who give them the respect. People understand what is being said to them with sincerity. I encourage you to remember that word of Maya Angelou. Might forget what you said, might forget what you did, but people will never forget how you make them feel. My proudest days in the courthouse is when I see personnel who work in the courthouse deal with people who have acted poorly, are acting poorly, and have done some things where they need to be incarcerated. I've seen the patience of folk, and I've seen deputies in that courthouse go and calm people down simply with a word. The good police officer is still around. The police officer that deals with people as they are, who do not assert their authority, and who continue to calm in the midst of chaos, are still needed. And I believe that today we have those people. But this is not an individual task. This is a task that involves everybody. So I close with this observation that I made about 5 years ago when I was at the beach. There were some children who were there with their parents, I suppose. And there was, at the beach, as there always is, there was a stand. And after you get out the water and walk through the sand and about to go up to wherever it is, you can take a little shower. You can step up on the shower and the water will come down. You can rinse the sand off of yourself enough to get to your hotel room. Well, this particular day, I saw a little girl. She weighed probably 75 pounds. And she was sitting there looking at the thing. She was like, I could see the curiosity in her eye. And a lady got on. Lady was probably 185, 200 pounds. Lady got on, showered, put her hair under there, washed her hair, got out, and went about her way. Little girl looked, she said, So I saw her approaching the shower thing. But when she got on it, no water came out. But she looked up at the faucet, she looked around, she looked back at that lady, and she was like, how did she make that thing do that? What happened? So she stepped back a minute, and she saw somebody else come up, probably another person who was over 100 pounds, and they had too got in the shower and were able to wash the sand out of their hair. Finally, she realized that her friends were standing there and were still at the beach, so she ran down there and said, come on and help me. So she said, let's get in this shower. So they all three stepped up in the shower. And guess what happened? The water came down. Today I encourage you to take somebody with you to step in the shower. Take somebody with you to make the water come down, to wash away the sand and the grime and the grunge that may fall on you every day. But if you together, as you have been for this period, continue to bring somebody else along, we all can be cleansed from the water of favor that covers us all each and every day together. Congratulations. For such a time as this, I am proud, I am honored, and I am glad to call Winston-Salem home because I feel safe and secure because of you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Judge. Now, please allow me to take a moment to introduce the full-time training staff. These dedicated individuals are committed to the success of the organization through the development and education of its personnel. This staff works tirelessly on numerous projects and programs while providing unwavering support to both the recruits and veteran officers. On many days, the training staff arrive before dawn to begin physical training, and often they work late into the evening. They are truly a team of professionals who devote all their efforts into molding these officers into a team and part of Winston-Salem's finest. Please stand when your name is called. Assistant Chief William Penn, Jr., Captain Renee Melly, Lieutenant Trace Wooten, Sergeant Samuel Langdon, Sergeant Michael Fleming, Corporal Kayla Schaus, Corporal Aaron Perkins, Corporal Logan Collier, Police Officer Brian Dawson, Instructor Megan James, BWC Coordinator Donna Brown Cole, Senior Office Assistant Ms. Julie Keyser. Please join me in giving these individuals a well-deserved round of applause. If you are a member of the recruiting division or human resources personnel who assisted in the application or the selection process for these recruits, please stand. Not everyone who wants to become a police officer is accepted into the academy. The men and women you see standing are members of the team who reviewed 164 applications to seat the class that included Class 76. The recruiting staff for the academy included the following: Sergeant Amy Collins, Corporal Chris Dabb, Corporal Kelly Wilkes, Corporal Jonathan Arnold, Officer Jimmy Falk, retired police officers Robert Boyd, Lyman Clark, Debbie Wilkins, James Johnson, David Lamb, Jimmy Boyd, and Rudy Richardson. Please join me in giving these individuals a well-deserved round of applause. I'll ask now that all the instructors that assisted in any academy instruction and the field training officers to please rise. There are more than 100 certified instructors in the department and for Forsyth Tech who contributed to the training of our recruits. These are but a small sampling of the instructor pool that provided more than 1,000 hours of instruction. Their dedication and hard work is a testament to their professionalism. Among these standing are representatives of the Post-Academy Training Program. They are the field training officers. The WSPD's Post-Academy Training Program involves the assignment of an entry-level officer to a field training officer, an FTO, who serves as a guide and a model for the inexperienced officer. The FTO undertakes a dual role, one of patrol officer and trainer. As a trainer, the FTO must build upon the primary education that the entry-level officer has received. The FTO is the primary force that molds the new officer into a professional, productive member of the WSPD. Please join me in thanking the Academy instructors and our field training officers. The recruits from Class 76 voted to have one of their classmates represent the entire class with a graduation speech on their behalf. The Class 76 spokesman is recruit Joshua Gentle.
Good morning, command staff, training staff, recruiting staff, mayor, council members, honored guests, family, friends, and Class 76. Today is the day that we have anticipated for almost 9 months. I want to first begin by giving a special thank you to the training staff for all they have given of themselves to ensure that we have received the best training that's been offered to us. As I look out across the faces here today, I'm reminded as an individual of certain moments from our journey as a class over the last 9 months. I remember day one when we stood in the lobby of the Beatty Training Center. We were as nervous as long-tailed cats in a room full of rocking chairs, not sure what that day was to hold. And then I think about state exam day, the day we had prepared and tested for after hours studying and time again, putting in all the effort that we could. And I remember that day we sat in that room, Sergeant Langdon looked at us, we smiled like a bunch of mules eating briars through a barbed wire fence, not sure what to do. And then I think about today. Now we've come full circle. And if you could ask us all, we would say we're fine. We're finer than frog hair that's been split 4 ways. 76, I can't tell you where we will finish this journey, what lies ahead, but what I can say is each journey is a journey that always begins with one step. Our steps began the fateful morning of October the 19th, 2020. And though we might have stumbled along the way and sometimes fallen more than once, more than twice, the word quit was never in the heart of our class. Class 76 has definitely been one for the books. We have seen challenges met with victory, conflict find resolution, and in our time as a class, we've had more COVID breaks than we would like to share, and there was even a few times I thought Recruit Davis and myself would retire from the police academy. 76, here is what I know. We started as 18 individuals. What we realized is being individuals was not going to get the job done. We quickly realized through team building exercises in the hallways, mat room, and days in the parking lot, there was no room in our class for individuals, but we needed to strive to be something more. We found that more in the sweat, tears, learning, laughter, tips, tricks, and life hacks that made us more popular at parties. No matter the difficulty, we together overcame. And that, my friends, today was the fire that forged us into the 18 of a family that you see this morning. I asked the question, are we finished? And the answer to that is found in this saying: we learn more from our scars than our trophies. So many times that was said to us as a class that it became more than just a saying from our academy sergeant. It became a fundamental truth in the working of each and every one of our lives. Those scars of forgetting water bottles, name tags, not one name tag, but the temporary name tag that found its way in the toilet and down through the city drain. Even those moments that we seem to find that set us back or challenged us on a physical and even mental level were what we needed to strive together to be more than just individuals. Well, I know that all these scars have brought us together as a family. I know that through all the push-ups, burpees, sit-ups, each one of us would do it all over again if that's what it took to build what we have here today. There was so much I could say about our class, but time will not permit, so I'll sum it up like this. There's no other group of people that I would have rather shared this experience with than these people seated before you today. The academy has flown by. We have made friendships that will definitely last a lifetime. When we depart from this place, Class 76, don't forget that family, no matter how far apart, is always family. So 76, I'll finish with this thought. I believe we are the best, but let's not just say it. Make sure we show it as we take the step from today to tomorrow. I can only bring this to an end this way. Many of my classmates will think of this as a classic rock and roll song, but for me, it echoes even truer because I remember when this song was a top 1 hit. In the words of Billy Joe Armstrong, so take the photographs and still frames in your mind, hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos of memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. 76, I hope so far you have had the time of your life. Thank you.
Thank you, Gentle. Traditionally, the Winston-Salem Police Department presents special awards during graduation to members of each class who have distinguished themselves during the training academy. Today, we honor 3 members of Class 76 with the following awards: the Vivian H. Burke Character Award, the Honor Graduate Award, and our highest award, the Lieutenant Aaron G. Tice Jr. Colleague Award. We'll begin with the Vivian H. Burke Character Award. Please welcome our city manager, Lee Garrity.
Good morning. Before I present this award, let me digress for just a second. Last year, as the judge mentioned, was a very unusual year. Early in the spring of last year, of 2020, I started weekly Zoom meetings with the managers from the 4 other large North Carolina cities. We started that to deal with COVID. Over the summer, it transferred to dealing with all of the social unrest and trying to keep our communities safe. And I want to tell you and thank this department and this city council and mayor, and particularly our police chief. It was very extraordinary, but we were the only city who kept the peace through 40-plus days of protests, through very tired days for our law enforcement officers who worked every day. We kept the peace, and I'm damn proud of what this community did all around, and I want to thank all of you. Vivian H. Burke Character Award. You know, when you think of the word character and you look in the dictionary, it describes character as those things that people say about you when you're not looking, when you're not looking. Those things behind your back. Integrity, honesty. Those things that are so important and they're not for show. Vivian H. Burke served the city of Winston-Salem for 43 years. She passed away during the pandemic in May of 2020. Her public service is continued by her son, the Honorable Judge Burke, and her daughter-in-law, who is now a city council member, serving in her seat. We established this award 6-7 years ago, and we did it because the Mayor Pro Tem Burke at the time, she wanted to find that recruit in both police and fire who exemplified those characteristics of just strong character, integrity. I'm honored today to give the Vivian H. Burke Character Award for Class 76 to recruit Tori Sessler.
Congratulations. The Honor Graduate Award to be presented by Assistant Chief Natasha Miles and Beth Hutchins, the widow of Sergeant Mickey Hutchins, who was killed in the line of duty October 12, 2009.
Good morning. Entry-level training for Class 76 police officers trainees consisted of 1,000+ hours of law enforcement training in 36 different subjects that require a written exam and in some subjects a practical application exam. The Honor Graduate Award is presented to each year to that trainee who has the highest academic grade average overall. The Honor Graduate for the Winston-Salem Police Department Academy Class 76 completed the training with a 97.86 grade point average. The Honor Graduate Award goes to recruit Jasmine Clark.
"40 years ago, my husband received the Honor Graduate Award for his class. It takes a special person to keep on going. It's a hard thing to continue education after you finish high school and maybe college, but to keep on plugging to try to get those grades, especially during the time of COVID. When they gave Mickey the award, it was about this big and it has his name misspelled on it. Academics have always been exceptionally important in our family, and we thought that the honor graduate deserved something a little bit better to maybe display on their desk when they become the chief of police.
Congratulations. Now for the highest award any Academy member can receive. This award is one in which each officer present here today is familiar with and cherishes as a symbol and a reminder of the great price members of this profession might be asked to pay for the privilege of serving in law enforcement. Assistant Chief William Penn Jr. will now present the Lieutenant Aaron G. Tice Jr. Colleague Award.
Good morning. Let me begin by saying it's an honor to present this award, and definitely an honor to present that award with Mrs. Tice. Let's please pause for a moment of silence to remember Lieutenant Aaron G. Tice Jr. Thank you. If you were to take a survey asking a community to identify those qualities it desires in its police officers, the list would likely include words such as honest, hardworking, competent, and professional. If you were to survey a police department asking officers to identify those qualities they desire in a coworker, you would likely see the same words. Additionally, you would see phrases such as courageous, strong, trustworthy, and dependable. A few weeks before each recruit class graduation, all members of the class are asked to vote for one of their peers whom they believe best demonstrates the qualities mentioned before. These qualities demonstrate the best the men and women in this profession has to offer. Class 76 has spoken, and that representative from within their ranks have decided that the Lieutenant Aaron Jerome Tice Jr. Colleague Award for Class 76 is presented to recruit Shannon Davis.
At the beginning of Academy, Class 76 was issued a class flag known as the Guidon. The Guidon served as a symbol for the class and represented the solidarity that the class pledged to their training. If the Guidon was flying, class was in session. The class Guidon bearer, recruit Thomas Boyette, will now return the Guidon over to class leader recruit Joshua Van Dusen. Recruit Van Dusen will then return the Guidon to Sergeant Langdon, signifying the conclusion of the academy.
Guidon bearer. Yes, sir. Post.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Thompson, and I am honored to call myself the Chief of Police for the Winston-Salem Police Department. I want to start by thanking our mayor, our city council members, our city manager, and members of the city manager's leadership office for their support throughout this very, very difficult last year. We could not have done it without your support, and thank you. To the members of the Winston-Salem Police Department, thank you. Despite all that we've been through, you didn't miss a day. You were out there. You were getting it done, and you were coming back for more. Thank you. Parents, family, friends, spouses, children of our graduates, Class 76, please stand. I want to start by thanking you for entrusting us with training this fine group of women and men. I can assure you that the training that they have received since October will make them and have made them and prepared them to handle any and every challenge that will come our way. I am extremely proud of their resilience and their steadfastness, and I know you are too. I ask that you remain standing as I say to Class 76, turn to your family members. Now I ask that you stand up and you thank them by clapping for their support. Stand up. Thank you. You all may be seated. I'm going to tell you that particularly family members, and I'll talk personally to moms, 27 and a half years ago, well, 27 years ago today, I graduated from Basic Law Enforcement Class 34. My mother told me, I didn't pay for you to go to college to be a police officer. And 27 years later, she's passing out my business cards quicker than I am. For those of you, moms in particular, who are concerned at all, allow me to take a point of personal privilege to introduce you to my mom, and I'm going to ask that she stand in the back of the room. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to go talk to her. Class 76. You have been given all that you need to go out and conquer whatever comes your way. The resilience and the determination dedication, and teamwork that you displayed during the stop and go of this class as a result of the pandemic and everything else that was going on is evident that you are ready. Remember, I asked you just yesterday, why in the heck would you still want to do this job after what happened here on Monday? You remember the answers that you provided. Keep those answers in your mind and keep that thought in your mind as you move forward. There's going to be some challenging days ahead, but there's going to be some glorious days ahead. And I can assure you that there is no job more rewarding than this job right here in the city of Winston-Salem. I am proud of you, and I can't wait to see you out in Patrol Division because we need you. Congratulations. I love you all. Sergeant Langdon.
Yes, Chief.
Front and center, sir. As a duly appointed Basic Law Enforcement Training Coordinator for the Winston-Salem Police Department, do you personally certify that the students of Class 76 of the Winston-Salem Police Academy have met all school requirements and regulations and have successfully completed all courses and activities that comprise the basic law enforcement training?
Yes, Chief.
Sergeant Langdon, having provided assurance that the members of Class 76 of the Winston-Salem Police Academy have met all requirements which entitle them to receive a certificate certifying successful completion of the Winston-Salem Police Department's prescribed training program, please present these students for graduation, the receipt of their certificates, and the badges of their office.
Yes, Chief. Class 76, on your feet. Left, face.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is tradition in Academy graduation that as I call the name of each recruit, they shall come forward and receive their certificate and be congratulated by the dignitaries down front. Additionally, as part of our ceremony, each member of Class 76 has selected someone to share in the honor of presenting him or her the badge of office and pinning it upon them for the first time. This badge of honor serves as a symbol of public faith. It is accepted as an acknowledgement of public trust, and it obligates those who wear it to extremely high standards of personal and professional conduct well beyond the expectations of the citizens you serve. Class 76, you are fully aware that not everyone can earn this badge. Be proud of your accomplishments and never tarnish the image of the badge you are about to receive. We'd like for those friends and family members who've been selected to pin the badge onto your loved one to now move to the front right-hand side of the room next to the photo backdrop and wait for your officer. In keeping with the dignity of the ceremony, I ask that you hold your applause until after all graduates have recited the oath of office. Taylor Barnes. Thomas Boyette. Jasmine Clark. Shannon Davis. Margaret Davison. Joshua Gentle. Mason Hester. Colby Hines. Blaine Rhine. Gregorio Rivas. Taylor Roberts. Tori Sessler. Colton Shermer. Brandon Taylor. Dante Tropiano. Joshua Van Duzen. Preston Wheelis. Justin Wilburn. Now please welcome Clerk of Superior Court Denise Hines to administer the oath of office. We ask that all sworn personnel stand and remain standing for the oath.
First, I want to say it's an honor to swear in Winston-Salem Police Department Police Academy Class of 76 as your clerk of court and as a member of this community and as a mom. I want to thank you for your willingness to serve and your continued commitment to our community. Your oath of office. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will be alert and vigilant to enforce the criminal laws of this state, that I will not be influenced in any manner on account of personal bias or prejudice, that I will support and maintain the Constitution of the laws of the United States and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina, not inconsistent therewith, and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge and execute the duties of my office as a law enforcement officer according to the best of my skill, abilities, and judgment. So help me God. Thank you.
Class 76, you are officially members of an elite group of highly trained police officers, and you are held by both the public and the government to the highest standards of conduct. Those standards, known as the Law Enforcement Code of Ethics, is printed on today's program on page 11. I invite the audience to follow along as these new officers join all sworn law enforcement personnel here today in reciting this code. We'll be led by Assistant Chief W.S. Wheeler II.
Good morning. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. All law enforcement officers, would you please stand and recite with me the North Carolina Criminal Justice Education and Training Standards Commission Law Enforcement Code of Ethics. As a law enforcement officer, my fundamental duty is to serve mankind, to safeguard lives and property, to protect the innocent against deception, the weak against oppression or intimidation, and the peaceful against violence or disorder, and to respect the constitutional rights of all to liberty, equality, and justice. I will keep my private life unsullied as an example to all, maintain courageous calm in the face of danger, scorn, or ridicule, develop self-restraint, and be constantly mindful of the welfare of others. Honest in thought and deed in both my personal and official life, I will be exemplary in obeying the laws of the land and the regulations of my department. Whatever I see or hear of a confidential nature or that is confided to me in my official capacity will be kept ever secret unless revelation is necessary in the performance of my duty. I will never act officiously or permit personal feelings, prejudices, animosities, or friendships to influence my decisions. With no compromise for crime and with relentless prosecution of criminals, I will enforce the law courteously and appropriately without fear or favor, malice or ill will, never employing unnecessary force or violence, and never accepting gratuities. I recognize the badge of my office as a symbol of faith, and I accept it as a public trust to be held so long as I am true to the ethics of the police service. I will constantly strive to achieve these objectives and ideals, dedicating myself before God to my chosen profession, law enforcement. Congratulations, Class 76. Welcome to Patrol Division. Thank you.
Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please remain seated while the graduates and veteran officers of the Winston-Salem Police Department exit the space. We thank you for coming. We ask that you please join the recruits. Well, they're officers now. What am I saying? Yeah, that sounds good, right? Join the officers and staff in the reception area to offer your congratulations. The class will form up briefly for a group portrait here in this event space, and photographers will remain for the next 30 minutes for family and officer photographs. Sergeant Langdon, yes, sir. Please dismiss your class.